My name is Grace Kenya. That is what people identify me in social media, in YouTube and Facebook and all my social media platform. I have a condition called spina bifida, which simply means incomplete spine. And my mom told me that when she gave birth to me, I was okay. I didn't have any problem. I did all the milestone, like I crawl, I walked, and when the time to go to school came, I nilienda shule poa, so there was no problem, and everything was just normal. But along the way, along the way, things changed, and I lost my mobility. So that's when now the challenge started. I remember I was young girl and I was very shammy. I can remember those days when I used to walk, when I used to run, when I used to fetch water, when I used to collect firewood and all those things. I can remember how I used to play most of the games. I remember, though I was a bit young, and now when I joined the school, I think I was around 8 years, because when I was young, I used to have this pneumonia thing. So the doctor said that I should not join school until when I was 8, so that because I could converse, and teacher didn't know what to do with me. So I had to stay home with my mother until when I was 8, and then I joined the school. So in class 3, that term, when we were about to prepare for class 4, I remember I just started feeling weak all over this. I didn't know what was happening. I just started feeling weak, like today I'm a bit weaker, tomorrow more weak, and I started dragging my legs. I could drag legs. So, teacher could beat me and say, you are having some weird behaviors. What's wrong with you? And sometimes walikuwa wananichapa, nikienda home bado nachapwa. So I was so frustrated, because even me myself, I didn't know what was happening. In my family, and where I come from, Laikipia County, the village called Seria, sikuwa nimeona mtu like akona disability, so I don't know how disability looks like, mtu anakuaga hivi. So when I started feeling weak, I thought also I have problem with myself, because it didn't hit me first time that inaweza kuwa ni shida. So nikienda home, mama ananichapa, anasema niko na behaviors za adolescence, natembea weird, and akiconsult watu wanamwambia tu, msichana wako amefika adolescence, inaweza kuwa ni hiyo, wakifika adolescence they normally behave in a certain way. But it continued until I could not walk again. I remember this morning I woke up to go to school, and we were doing exam to go to class 4. And those days kutoka class 3 ukienda class 4 ni kama unatoka class 3 tukienda form 1, kulikuwa na hiyo transition. So I was really longing for that transition, but I didn't even do my exams because I was so weak, and I could not walk completely. I could not walk, and everybody didn't know what was happening. So everybody is coming to my place to advise my mother. There are those people who are coming to say, you need to check, maybe mtoto wako amerogwa, you need to check, maybe there's something wrong, and I came from very humble background, so there was no even money to take me to hospital. So when my dad got he sold some sheep, and they took me to hospital. I was done MRIs, not MRIs, those days it was called, I think, X-rays. So I was done X-rays, but hazikuwa zinaonyeshana kitu, za miguu, kwa mgongo, and all the parts, but there was no problem. So when we went, so the doctor advised my parents waangalie mambo ya kinyumbani, maybe kuna kitu mbaya iko huko nyumbani, waangalie kama kuna mtu wamemkosea, maybe sasa ndio maana shida imerudi kwa mtoto wao, waangalie uko kwa ukoo wenu, muangalie kama kuna vitu zilisemwa. And they did all these things, but bado sikutembea tena. At this point nilikuwa kabisa I cannot walk, I cannot stand. Ukinieka place umenieka, in case the rain comes, nilikuwa nanyeshewa hapo. Like ukinieka kwa jua, I cannot crawl to the shade. And you know, I was young, so I was so confused. I can't remember what was going on in my head, but I know I was going a very, very tough time as a child or as a teenage, because I had a dream, so I can't go to school, you know, I can't play with my fellows. Na ikakuwa ngumu sana kwangu. It get to a point where my parents now decided that I have to stay at home, because they have tried they have tried the hospital and there was no problem. They have tried to talk to maybe a shosho guka and there was still no problem. So I had to stay at home because there was no option. Now it was all about to pray God maybe to heal me. So they prayed, but I didn't still get healed. So I remember how they could call those wahubiri, preachers, or waombaji, and whenever they could come to my place, they could give a very weird message. Like I remember 2 of them came and said that nilikuwa na panya. So you can imagine you are a young child, unaambiwa uko na panya, like ati kuna spirit ya panya. So they said niko na panya. That was the word, like niko na panya. And alikuwa aombe ndio sasa panya itoke, like more of a spirit itoke, ndio because ndio ili cause my disability, so that niweze sasa kutembea. And huyo mzee akuomba, huyo preacher akuomba, akaenda. I think hawakusikizana in terms of pesa yenye alikuwa alipwe, so akaenda bila kuniombea, so nikabaki. But sasa amenibakisha nikijua niko na panya. So I remember how hard it was, because ningeumwa na tumbo, akili yangu ilikuwa inaniambia panya iko kwa tumbo. Ningeumwa na kichwa, panya imeenda kichwa, because already ushawekwa hiyo mind, like wewe mara mingine anakuja nasema uko na worms in your body, you know, those preachers. Then hizo vitu zote zikatukua tumekuwa mixed, na tukaacha sasa, tukasema hatutakuwa tukienda kutafuta hawa watu wa kuomba, tutakaa tu nyumbani, and my mom will take care of me until when God will do something. Yeah, so I stayed at home for many years without going to school. I cannot bathe myself, I cannot walk, I cannot do anything for myself. Depending on my mother. I remember this time we were going to hospital. My dad sold everything, so my family, they went poor. Let me say poor. They went down completely financially, to the extent my sisters and brother could not go to school because of pesa ya mtihani, like I think around 12 shillings. So walikuwa ikifika time ya mtihani, they are not going to school, wanarudishwa the same class, eh? So walirudia wakarudia until they wakaacha shule because of maybe 8 shillings or even 12 bob, such small money. We were very down, and it get to a point where my father felt like I was a burden to the family, because kama ni mbuzi aliuza nipelekwa shule, akauza I think a piece of land alikuwa nayo, and bado sikuwa na get healed. So akachoka kabisa. Sasa akasema, nikaona sasa nimeanza kuniona mimi burden, like akaacha kuwa responsible again for in taking care of me. And I remember around 2009 I was still down, I could not walk, and I was supposed to go for for an MRI scan so that my spine can iangaliwe yaone what is going on, because the spine is the one that had a problem. And we needed around 25,000. And when I went to my dad, nikamwambia dad, tunafaa kwenda hospitali Nairobi tupige hiyo picha tuone shida iko wapi nitibiwe. So it was a bit of a hope message that shida yako ikipatikana utatreatiwa na utatembea tena. So venye nilienda kwa my dad, aliniambia no, amechoka na mimi, and he wished me dead. Like I'm so burdened to him. Like mimi ndio nime cause all the problems in that family. And I remember that time my mom and dad were not in good terms, because my mom alikuwa na blamiwa na dad, yeye ndiye anajua the reason why mimi sitembei. And you know, my mom didn't know anything, like hata yeye ni kitu tu ilikuja, but he kept saying that wewe ndio unajua the reason why mtoto akona hii shida, kwetu hakunaga viwete, so lazima ikwe ni kwenu. So I could really see that they were not in good terms. And I was so down, because nilikuwa naona for sure I'm the one who is causing all these troubles. Ni mimi nilifanya wauze everything that was there. Ni mimi nilifanya ma sisters zangu na brother zangu waache shule. Home mamangu haezi enda anywhere, because she had to take care of me like a little girl, like mtoto kabisa, you know, taking me to the toilet, bathing me. I'm very weak. And hangeza sasa kwenda hata kibarua. So we could not afford food. We went without food many days. You know, it was really troublesome. My dad ran away from home. Alisema me cannot stay in this. There's too much. So akaenda kwenye alienda. So alikuwa na come to once na well, na hata akikuja seti anakuja na kitu, anakuja tu juni kwake alafu anaenda. So my mom had a very hard time to manage us. And mamangu alikuwa na mtoto mdogo that time, na sistangu alikuwa amekufa, akaacha watoto wawili bado still young. So you can see how my mom alikuwa akona watoto tuseme kama watatu juu wake, na mtoto wa sister yangu bado alikuwa mdogo, na mimi ni kama tu mtoto. So hangeweza kwenda kibarua. So my sister, they are the one who could go out, look for kibarua, wakikuja wanaleta unga, wakikuja wanaleta kitu kama hiyo, tunakula. And I remember my mom get to a point where alipata hiyo depression, like she stopped engaging with the people. Akapata hiyo withdrawals, like kama alikuwa anaenda vikundi za wamama hazienda, kama kuna matanga hazienda, kama kuna harusi hazienda, lazima akae tu home. Hakuwa anapenda kutengamana na watu juu watu wanamwambia vitu mingi, wanamwambia mtoto wako amerogwa, sijui kwenye mko na nini, and all this stuff. And another reason why he could not even go out is I was still teenager. I was like, being a girl, it was a bit challenging, because akienda tu ulikuwa unaona wanaume wanakaribia kukuja, like sijui niseme, but wanaume walikuwa wanataka kutake advantage of me. So angepata tu venye ametoka kuna mwanaume ameingia kwa hata wengine walikuwa narukia fence, not even using the gate, because anajua kitumia gate kila mtu atamuona. So when my mom realized that men were trying to take advantage of me, hiyo ilimpe uoga kabisa. Sasa ikabidi amekaa tu completely home. So the more she stayed home, the more the problem was increasing, because we needed food, we needed clothes as a family. There were so many needs in the house, but she could not be able to cater for our needs. So I remember there's this guy who decided that he's a therapist. So he talked to my mom and kamwambia, oh, I think Grace kaisa fanyiwa therapy, anaweza tembea tena. So for my family it was good. Like everything we accepted, offer anything you can offer to bring solutions. So mamangu akasema ni sawa, so alikuwa anakujaga home. Ana come home like 1 hour, tunafanya therapy, anaenda. I started improving. But again, this man akanigeuka. I remember one day, ili niacha kabisa sasa therapist, of which I feel maybe kama ningeendelea na therapist, maybe right now ningekuwa natembea. But from that time I stopped therapy because I remember your day Ali come and I was with my little sister. So akaambia sister yangu, acha nikupe 5 bob. Wende ununue juice cola. People know juice cola. Hizo juice ulikuwa naeka maji hivyo, watoto walikuwa nakunywa sana. So sister yangu akafurahi, akachukua 5 bob, akaenda kwa duka. So venye ameenda kwa duka, kumbe mimi sikuwa najua alikuwa na akili mbaya ama alikuwa anafikiria vibaya venye anaweza ni harm. So alikuja, juu nilikuwa nakaa kwa bed, singeweza sikuwa na wheelchair, so nilikuwa kwa bed, tulikuwa tunafanya therapy kwa bed. So ndio akaniambia, Grace, I want to show something. So akatoa nguo zake. I was like, mbona unatoa nguo? Okay, mimi nilikuwa na nguo zangu zenye nilikuwa navaa nikifanya therapy, but sasa sikuwa na expect atoe nguo. So akatoa nguo and mimi sikuwa najua kitu kama mtu anaweza repiwa. Sikuwa najua like venye tulikuwa tunampenda, venye alikuwa source of hope and inspiration to my family. Like msichana wanyu sasa atatembea tena. I didn't know that alikuwa anigeuke. I don't know what happened. Like akafikiria tu kuniham. So remember this time, because of many years that nilikuwa nimeishi, nimeketi, miguu yangu ilikuwa like imeshikana, haikuwa flexible. So yeye alikuwa anakuja kunistretch. So ametoa nguo na akaniambia, mimi nataka kulala na wewe. I was like, mimi sasa unalala na mimi aje? Saizo my self esteem ilikuwa imeenda almost to 0 because nilikuwa najichukia sana. Nilikuwa naona I'm burden to my family. Though nilikuwa nimetry commit suicide, nilikuwa nashindwa. I tried 3 times. And ndio decide like now I have to leave because nilikuwa nimetry like 3 times kujua, lakini sikuaga successful. So I was also frustrated by the fact that najaribu kujua and I'm not succeeding. Sikuwa naona like life is, kwa naona death is better than being alive. Plus my dad aliniambia you are better dead, you know. So mimi nilikuwa naona hakuna haja ya kuishi. So by the time alikuwa anaanza ku come home, already self esteem yangu ilikuwa ime calm down and I could not talk. I used not to talk, in fact. Hata ukikuja kunisalimia I cannot even say hi. I was just quiet. Ukiniongelesha I'm like, so what are you saying? You know, you are in that desperate mood. You feel like you want to die, but the death itself is not coming my way. Like, you know, kama kujinyonga, you understand that ukijinyonga you have to, lazima ukue at least unasimama. Huwezi jinyonga kama umeketi. So I tried kujinyonga, ikakata. I tried to kukunywa dawa red cat ile ya panya. Na siku moja nikaambia sistangu, wewe enda uniletee red cat. Ilikuwa 10 bob, ilikuwa na 10 bob. Hata sijui nilikuwa imetoa wapi. Nikatuma sistangu ambaye ninunulie red cat. Mtu wa duka akamuuliza, unapeleka wewe mtoto mdogo, unapeleka wapi red cat? Kaniambia ni Shiro amenituma. Home they call me Shiro. Ni Shiro amenituma. Na kwa sababu mtu wa duka alikuwa anajuaga mimi nakuaga mgonjwa, mimi nakuaga like hivyo, akafikiria what if msichana anataka kujua. So akamwambia hapana, ambia mama yako akuje hiyo dawa. So it failed. I tried many times to commit it, but to commit suicide, but I failed. So I had that frustration. So by the time this guy was coming to help me well, in doing therapy, I was still in that mood of I don't want to leave. So I started feeling like, oh, maybe therapy now will help. So it was more of encouragement. So venye alitaka kulala na mimi, he struggled to open my legs because he was you know, watu wanene, ni mtu amekula.